awaken! Reach for the stars, wild ones. It's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Sagittarius tarot card reading for April 2021. Okay, so before we get started, I've got to remind you that this is April 1st is just a couple days away. That starts my Kickstarter for my brand new book, the Spirit Totem and Power Animals, the complete book of animal spirit guides, a 700-page 9x11 full-color book. It's the most comprehensive book on the subject anywhere in the world. There are 300 two pages each, animal descriptions that will bring you in closer relationship with your animal allies and nature. There are prayers and intentions. There are articles about sigils and talisman and how to create them, and there are sample interpretations and all kinds of information about numerology and color theory and just, everything that will go into you more easily recognizing and more easily being able to come again into deeper relationship with your animal allies. Kickstarter begins on April 1st. The link is in the comments below. Please, please, please do yourself a giant favor. Get this book. It's discounted during Kickstarter only. You'll be so thrilled when you get this book. All right, here we go. On to the tarot card readings. Oh, Sagittarius, your card and spirit animal this month is the upright alligator, which is the Page of Cups in my deck, the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. And, you're going to have to be called this month to make peace with your feelings, which is, hey, you don't really like. So get ready, because you've got to be willing and you've got to create harmony with anyone and anything around you almost, or you're going to have a rocky April. So this is the thing. You're such a philosopher, right? Sagittarians are like the great thinkers of, I think, I see, I'm a thinker, I'm contemplating all the deep things of life. The thing is for as much as you Sagittarians, contemplate, you tend to hide your feelings, well, your deepest feelings, really, because you prefer to approach life from a philosophical standpoint, but sometimes you just gotta feel the feels. And this month in April, alligator is your spirit totem and power animal, and that's really going to help you bridge the distance between your mind and your heart, because alligator knows all about walking the balance, right? They can go deep beneath the surface of the emotional waters, but they can also tap into the intellectual realms of the air and the land. And remember, alligator is super perceptive and emotionally sensitive. So they're really, as an animal ally, their energy, their medicine, it will help you be super attuned to the healing energy and love around you. And so remember now, alligators can be fully submerged in the mud, but you see their little eyes sticking out because their eyes are on the top of their head, which allows them to be like in muddy waters, where we can all sometimes feel when we're in the emotional muddy waters. But if we take alligator's lead, we can always see clearly, even if we are in those muddy waters. We can do the dance, right? We can stay in the mud for a little while, as long as we need to process everything. But through the eyes of alligator, we can give ourselves the clear vision to be able to process through the muddy waters or muddy emotional waters, to come out on the other side clean and clear and ready to take the next step. So, this month in April, for your zodiac sign, you are going to be asked to try to sink deeper into your emotional layers. And this may be the time for you to welcome a new love or strengthen an existing relationship. And April 2021, for you Sagittarius, begins with some exciting aspects that impact your sign. So the moon is in Sagittarius opposite Mars in Gemini on the 1st. And at the same time, Mars in Gemini is a favorable trine position to your planetary ruler, Jupiter in Aquarius. Now, you might feel some strain and stress as important beliefs related to home and family are challenged. But working in your favor is a connection to inspiring and influential people in your community. So you may be on the brink of expanding into some new groups or organizations and sharing your influence on a broader scale, which is what you love to do. You love to talk and spread your ideas, and you usually have really awesome, big vision, deep ideas, and people love you for it, and they love your ideas. So by the 10th of April, your planetary ruler, Jupiter in Aquarius, is in a favorable trine to Mars in Gemini, and this can trigger exciting new breakthroughs in thinking related to new ideas, revolutionary changes in your interests, and brand new perceptions that bring a bright spotlight onto new possibilities for you. Now, this might be where you want to go ahead and bring in the Page of Cups archetype to everything that's going on, because when the Page of Cups shows up, it is it's again, it's all about the feels. And when we're talking about the pages and we're talking about the cups, we are talking about the most immature of the of the royal cards, and we're talking about the most immature of the suits of the tarot cards. If you think of it in terms of this, cups are the most juvenile. They act from emotion. Emotion rules just about everything that they do. And then you can flip flop between page and sword, or between swords and wands, for like the second and third kind of tier up in maturity, depending on how you read those cards, whether it's air or it's fire. And then you get to the pentacles, which is really our highest achievement, just in terms of spiritual awakening, understanding. If you take a look at the pentacle, it's the five, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. You've learned to really master all of those elements and make them work with you, and you work with them. And it speaks of an ascension. Pentacles speak of an ascension for abundance, and that's not just financial abundance, it's abundance of the spirit. So when you're looking at the Page of Cups and you're looking at your Sagittarius, you're looking at your tarot card reading for this month, for April, you you might want to just tap into that youth, because youth can feel so many things that sometimes as we get older we can't feel. And if you remain closed off, your heartstrings, they're never going to recognize the vibrations that truly make them sing. And sometimes when we're youngest is when we can really feel those kind of feelings. So it might confuse you a little, it might intimidate you a little, it might put you off center a little, but oh gosh, if you'll just do that during the month of April, so many beautiful things can unfold for you. Now, going back to the 10th, right, of April, and the Jupiter and Aquarius in the trine to Mars and Gemini, you might even adopt new language or ways of communicating in order to integrate new and dramatically different ideas into your your personal kind of agenda. And that transit's going to last until about the 18th of April. So you might feel compelled to explore new studies, read even controversial and taboo books, occult books, just things that are really outside of your norm, just to try to see things deeper or more, or just have a greater collective of information to put in that really smart head of yours. So you might also become more confident and adamant in your ideas at this time. So try to remember, just maybe soften away from intense and obsessive thinking and think about it as more of an expansion of ideas. Use that water element to just kind of flow and expand. Then on the 21st of April, the moon in Leo comes into opposition with Jupiter in Aquarius, and you might face tension between your own personal and individualistic needs and what others are asking of you. So group rules and expectations or social norms, that's going to challenge a deep desire to show your maverick side now, because Sagittarius, you worse than anybody hate to be tied down, beholden to schedules, beholden to anybody about doing anything. Your friends and your family get frustrated with you because sometimes it's really hard for you to keep a promise. But that's just part of your wild nature. It's part of your wild and free nature, and that's really who you are. So try to find a happy medium, though, between conformity and that really like crazy individualism that you have, because it is helpful to those around you if you can meet them in the middle, where they meet you, or they're like, okay, well, I understand if Sagittarius tells me this, it's 50-50 whether they may do it or it might happen. But during the month of April, your promise is going to be very important to other people and to yourself. So if you find yourself making commitments during April, try not to be a Sagittarius. Try to be somebody else. No, really, but just give it the old college try through April, and it's going to serve you and the people that you care for very, very well. Now, around the 28th of April for Sagittarius, the moon once again cycles through your sign, through your zodiac sign, and this can reawaken your intuition and dredge up feelings that you've tried to suppress. So don't be afraid to channel those emotions. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Your emotions are not going to drown you, and as Alligator reminds you, you can still feel very deeply on dry land and have get what you need and what you want. Now, I just want to dive a little bit deeper into alligator as a spirit totem and power animal. When they're babies, not so much, but it is the promise of things to come with alligator, that they are fierce and they are strong and they are just like, they've got this heavy armor that, very, very little can penetrate. And again, folks don't normally think of alligators or crocodiles, that kind of thing, as deep thinking, because, reptiles and amphibians, people just don't really think of them in that way. But they have an ancient primordial wisdom to them that I think is very difficult for a lot of other species to comprehend. And even in that, they have seen through, their DNA, it's been passed down through them. They have just seen so much of the evolution and the history of the world. You may also find yourself being very interested in some kind of history of whatever subject that you're really scope locked on now. And because they carry so much ancient wisdom with them, that makes them deeply, deeply psychic, and really, they're just like superb creatures for aligning your energies with when you want to go on a shamanic journey back in time. And so those of you that do soul retrieval as shaman, or you do past life regression work, or something of that nature, you could really work with alligator energy, even crocodile energy, to help you make that journey through what is not really time and space, because those are illusions, but just help you make that journey overall. So, the thing about that is alligators really do look very clumsy on land, but man, when you get them in the water, they are like torpedoes. And so, when you take a look at that, the other thing that you want to do is make sure, Sagittarius, that you are that you're in your element through April, because it does talk about all the feelings that are coming for you, if you'll allow them. Hopefully you do, and that's not comfortable for you. But if you can put yourself in your own element, and what I mean by that is, let's say that some people have really deep conversations. They'll go out to dinner and they'll be sitting at the table next to you talking about some of the most personal and deep stuff. I wouldn't be comfortable with that, but clearly they are. And so that might be comfortable for you. I would guess it would be uncomfortable for you, because you are so challenged by, revealing your truest, deepest feelings. And so, maybe you're more comfortable sitting on a porch, or in your bedroom, or in the kitchen, or, wherever. But it's going to be, when you take a look at alligators, your spirit totem and power animal for April, it's going to be really important that when you start to reveal your deep ideas and your big ideas and your deepest feelings and all of that kind of thing, that you take a cue from the water element, you take a cue from alligator medicine, and just do that speaking. Let your throat chakra free, and do that speaking in an environment that makes you most comfortable. And I feel like the people that love you will come along wherever that environment is. So just a couple more things also about the Page of Cups, because when you tap into the energy of the Page of Cups, you'll find that it very, very well could give you the feeling, if you take a look at the cup and you take a look at the fish jumping out of the cup, that you are a fish out of water when it comes to this month. Because again, and I know I've repeated this 100 times, but it's got to get through to you, because well, it doesn't have to do anything, but I really hope it gets through to you, because again, through this month of April, it's the if this, then that kind of equation. If you will take a look at your deepest emotions, if you will talk about them and process them, then you've got some amazing things that can unfold for you, for your zodiac sign during this month. And so the Page of Cups will also help you not be a fish out of water, and understand that you really can only hold your breath for so long. And then you've got to come out for air. So when you're talking about tamping down all of those deepest feelings, okay, that's fine, but it's only going to last for so long. And then with Sagittarians, it usually explodes in a big flame, ball of fire, and, everything just goes cuckoo, go nuts. And that's not good for anybody. So I hope that was helpful. Pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. Remember, my Kickstarter begins on April 1st for the new book that you've got to have. Anybody that cares anything about animal allies or animal medicine and energy, and getting in closer connection with nature and animals, you've got to have this book. And make sure that you get over to gatheringofmystics.com. Join us over there. It's free. There's some amazing conversations and lots of learning going on. But as always, what are the most important things? Do good for animals and keep reaching for those stars.